to the desert outpost. We're craving more. With every sweet stride, we will arrive. We're opening the door. So here's to the grind. We'll tear it down. There's nothing they can never do to take down the ground. And we will pop them down and make drum sound. There's something inside for us that's sticking around. Now watch the ice still. We're fighting to death. Yeah, we're fighting to death. We're fighting to death. We're fighting to death.
Hello, governors. Welcome to the 2025 Grand Prix Lower Bracket Round 2. I'm your host, Plotted Gaming Caster and content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and today we continue the casts of this fantastic Grand Prix event. The Grand Prix is a yearly event that combines the best Osiris League teams from both the international server and the Chinese server, pitting them against each other to fight for the crown of Grand Prix champion. The game that we are casting today has two tournament favorites, the two past Osiris League champions, the two past Grand Prix champions, finding themselves in an unfamiliar situation, a win or go home scenario. Today we are casting GY16 representing the Chinese server versus 489 representing the international server. GY16 is a reigning Grand Prix champion and were dominant in last year's Grand Prix. They have made it to this year's Grand Prix by winning the Osiris League in the Chinese server. With a close loss to 60GT last week, they have found themselves in the Grand Prix lower bracket for the first time in their team's history, but are looking forward to starting their lower bracket run all the way to the finals. They will be versus 489, another Grand Prix champion and a tournament favorite in their own right. 489 started off the Grand Prix on the wrong foot, losing to 748W in the first round. With a bye last week, they're looking to prove themselves that they too can make it all the way back to the top, back to the finals, and are still one of the best teams in the Grand Prix. Two of the last Grand Prix champions face off, but only one can make it to the next round. Will GY16, the reigning Grand Prix champions, get back to form and start their lower bracket run to the finals, or will 489 show that they're still one of the top teams by taking out one of the tournament favorites, GY16, early? Man, chat, this is a very, very, very interesting matchup. As I said, it is the two last Grand Prix champions, GY16 in 2024, and then we have 489 in 2023. So these two teams, they have known what it's like to be at the top, but are not too familiar with being in the bottom. 489, they did make it to the lower bracket and they did get knocked out pretty early last year, but GY16, I believe, I think they only lost one game last Grand Prix. So the fact that they're in this lower bracket, the fact that 60GT were able to beat them last week was a pretty big surprise, even while casting that match last week myself. So we'll have to see if GY16 and 489 and how they will play against each other. We saw GY16, the fault of them last week is that they overcommitted to the middle rotation, allowing for 60GT to play the building game. 60GT were able to pop no mark, they were able to capture 4 altars, and from there, GY16 were in a points disadvantage. But they couldn't rotate over because they already sent everyone to middle, and they did not want to give up the Ark just in case 60GT had a sneaky tactics play, just in case they had a master strategies play. So they were kind of put all their eggs in one basket, and it yielded them not the right returns. But for 489, they kind of lost in a methodical way against 748W in that first week. 748W were able to get, I believe, one of the first occupations of one of their altars, and then from there, they were able to win 2 of the 3 mid fights. So it'll be really, really interesting to see if GY16 will be able to correct their mistakes, or if it'll be 489 they'll be able to correct their mistakes. If we go over and take a look at the Grand Prix thus far, the bracket is actually looking very, very interesting. Last year, there was pretty much no international teams in this top side of the bracket. It was only 93T, the same 93T, by the way, that got knocked out by 62M1 last week. This week, we have 60GT versus 62M1, one of the favorites in the Chinese server. In that upper bracket, we have 45Q versus Beer in the other upper bracket. And then we have 4 lower bracket matches. I believe 748W and VVRS have already played. We have 21YL versus 2377. We also have 93T versus DQ39. And then we are going to be casting GY16 and 489. So it's really, really interesting to see how these teams have played out, how the bracket has kind of played out, because there are both 2 international server teams and 2 Chinese server teams still in the upper bracket. We'll have to see if that'll be the case after this week. But man, this has been one of the craziest tournaments. GY16 getting upset by 60GT last week was unexpected. 93T being put in the lower bracket pretty early here compared to their results last year as well. And we'll have to see GY16 versus 489, which of these reigning Osiris League champions, or which one of these reigning Grand Prix champions rather, GY16, the current reigning 2024 champion, the defending champions versus 489, who was the champions in 2023, which one of these teams can make it through to the next round. I will say that there is actually a really interesting thing going on in the Rise of Kingdoms Discord, where there are Discord polls that are live, and you could earn points by chatting in the Discord server, and then use those points to place bets. Points can be placed in a variety of prizes, such as including the Artemisia body pillow. So during the Grand Prix, anyone that bets on the winning pool will also enter a draw to win in-game prizes, including 1,000 gems, 15 hours of training speeds, 8 hours of speed ups, tomes of knowledge, and more. And there's going to be 10 winners every week. So be sure to check out the Rise of Kingdoms Discord server. It is under the poll section in community events. So be sure next week to enter those polls, because you could get a lot of prizes. It's not only the Artemisia body pillow, which you can get, but there are more prizes such as gems, more in-game rewards as well. All right, let us see. Is the match ready for us to watch? Indeed it is, as we get into the match. We have GY16 in the top left corner. GY16, for many, were the tournament favorites going into this tournament. GY16, people tell me they are kind of the 60GT of the Chinese server. A lot of KVK wins, a lot of Osiris League wins. In fact, GY16, they themselves have won 4 Realm Championships. 489 from Kingdom 2489 in the bottom right corner. You can see some familiar names here. They had a pretty good migration. They are in a pretty crazy KVK against 2377. But currently that KVK is in a lull because the Zone 5 is over, waiting for those past 7s in that King of All Britain. So 489, they should have all of their eggs in this basket. They should be able to fully focus on this Grand Prix, on this this game that they have in hand. We haven't seen any crazy openings as of yet in this Grand Prix. What we have been seeing is a lot of these T1 marches now acting as human sentries in a way, going and placing themselves in between the murder ball of their opponents and their home structures to make sure that they have a full body count as to how many marches are going to which structure, how many marches going to the desert altar, how many marches going to the sky altars. Of course, the altars being the most contested structures because they generate the most amount of points. And we'll have to see if 489 could, you know, beat this GY16 machine. It'll be a very, very tough matchup as we get into the game here. Opening sentry by 489 in a kind of peculiar spot in between the Shrine of War and Outpost, perhaps trying to see. There you go. It is going to be paired off with a second sentry, making sure that they have full vision in between the obelisk and the desert altar here to see how many marches are going to the sky altar, how many marches are going to be defending the desert altar. Opening rallies here, we have 7 rallies. We have 3 rallies from GY16, 4 rallies coming out from 489, all to the obelisks. GY16 also putting a sentry in between the outpost, but a bit higher up than the sentry placed by 489. Seeing the vision cones of each team here, you can see 489. Perhaps they won't be able to see the outer lane marches going to the sky altar, but they sacrifice that to have more vision towards the middle. And if you look at Iset here, they have full vision of the top side of the map, but not that much vision of the bottom side. That's really interesting. Perhaps they're going to try a sky altar play here and play pretty defensively in this bottom side of the map towards their own sky altar. You could see that. They could see the lines, how many marches are going where. A lot of marches here are going in between. That's really interesting by 489, being able to flex between defending the sky altar, attacking the desert altar. It looks like it's going to be the same play from GY16. They see exactly where the lines are going. They're going to start walking towards that direction as well. GY16, one of the tournament favorites here. 489 2023 Grand Prix champions, 2024 Grand Prix champions, being GY16 as well. No movement in middle. There's just some double C's and Belisarius Primes passing, saying hello. So far, so good from both teams. Both teams playing pretty standard here. Outposts being captured, obelisks being captured. You could see that this bottom side obelisk is going to be captured a bit faster than their strong side obelisk here for 489, but the weak side obelisk is going to be captured a bit faster by 489. All things considered, everything looking really even. But this is interesting. Look at GY16. GY16 not playing defensively around the sky altar. They're trying to go towards 489 side. GY16 have the tempo advantage here early because this is their strong side. This is the side that's closest to them. It's pretty interesting how both teams are kind of revolving around this mountain here. You can see the desert altar attack and the sky altar defense kind of blending in together around this mountain for both GY16 as well as 489. You can see GY16, they were trying to do something here. They're probably an obelisk play. This is all cavalry, so they want to get here as fast as possible. Top side of the map, not too much going on. Bot side of the map, though, it looks like GY16 are trying to contest the Shrine of Life. Very interesting play from GY16. 489, they decide to respond with the pressure by sending their own murder ball here. This is a very peculiar spot for the first fight of the match to be, but this is where it'll be. 489 versus GY16. GY16 saying we don't have to play defensive here. We could go ahead and try to push the advantage against 489. Perhaps try to get the Shrine of Life. Try to just contest these outer lane structures. We can see the rest of the murder balls also colliding here. This is the Desert Altar defense for 489. Looks like GY16, they are getting sad face here. They have a numbers disadvantage, perhaps because they sent more numbers to this bottom side. If we go to the top side here, Desert Altar getting heavily contested. Both sides are around the Desert Altar. Who will be able to get in first? It's 3 seconds left until the Desert Altar opens up here. It is 489, a clutch entry by 489, able to get the Eleanor in there as well. Sky Altar was taken by GY16. GY16 though lost their obelisk here. Kind of an interesting delay tactic by 489. We'll have to see if GY16 do something about that. Because they will be able to teleport around here, around this obelisk in a minute here. I wonder if GY16 see that. Oh my goodness, that could be a pretty big play if they bring some marches here, just be consistently annoying. Perhaps teleport up towards this side so that it can consistently attack the Sky Altar from their end of the map. We'll have to keep eyes on that obelisk. We can see a lot of marches from 489 attacking the Shrine of War. There's no garrison in here. It is a Huoqubing. Huoqubing trying to hold on, but is not usually seen as a garrison march. It looks like they're pulling off though. Going towards the Sky Altar. A mixed call from 489 perhaps. Because yes, this is their home Sky Altar. It has been captured by GY16. GY16 were able to take back their obelisk in time. So far, the map is looking rather blue on this top side of the map. Looks like they're trading Desert Altar for Sky Altar right now. But GY16 looks like their retake efforts are a lot more further along than 489s. They have the rally on here. It is an Attila Subutai, which has been the rally of this Grand Prix. With 1 minute to go until this first occupation points are given, it looks like GY16 will be able to deny that. Will they be able to deny the home structure of 489? That's going to be the real question. 489, Attila Subutai yet again. Attacking the Sky Altar. And it looks like GY16 are actually going to be able to defend this. This is going to be big. It's going to be plus 750 points into the pockets of GY16, minus 750 points from the pockets of 489. So 1.5k points overall going towards the way of GY16. I think that's going to be the only notable take of this. Wait a minute. Did I jinx it? There are still some 489 marches, but there are a lot of GY16 marches also coming here to reinforce. It's a Freddy, so you know that march was here just to reinforce. With the amount of marches coming through, with the low marches of 489, this will be a successful first capture steal of GY16 in the Sky Altar. There you go, GY16 with the points advantage. Shrine of War was taken by 489. First occupation points are also in play there. But outside of that, both Shrine of War's first occupations are still in play. Desert Altar is still in play, but there's no attack from 489 on the Desert Altar. So that should go towards GY16 as well. So when all things stabilize, GY16 also taking back the Shrine of War. When all things stabilize, it should be 1.5k up in terms of first occupation towards GY16. How will 489 respond? I think the response here is going to be a full send mid. And what we saw with GY16 is that they're very, very comfortable going middle. They're very, very comfortable with just sending and committing to middle. That's what they did against 60GT. 60GT were able to take advantage of that, pop a no mark, and get a points advantage that way. Will 489 do the same, or will they play into GY16's hands? Perhaps 489 are also playing towards a mid strategy. A win-or-go-home strategy for both these teams. If GY16 secure this arc, they will be securely in the lead. 3k towards them, plus the 1.5k they should be up. But if 4 and 9 are able to capture this arc, they should be right back in there, actually in the lead by a little bit as well. So this is going to be a really, really big play, really, really big arc for both these teams. You have an early dust up used by GY16. Dust up not only for combat, but it also reduces the range of your opponent's marches, the vision range of your opponent's marches. .489 just murder balling up. They have one Belisarius here, just 1v1ing in the middle here. It's a Belisarius Shanra Gupta, I believe. The debuff march of ages right there. GY16 winning the YouTube poll by quite a bit, 67% to 33% for 489. We have 1 minute 40 seconds until this Ark spawns. Who do you think will win this mid fight, chat? Is it going to be GY16, the reigning Grand Prix champions, or 2489 489, the 2023 Grand Prix champions? Regardless of them being champions, only one makes it through. Sun Sailor by GY16. Wow, Sun Sailor, they're gonna rotate out of mid? They're rotating out of mid to go to the obelisk of 489. Sun Sailor, for those that don't know, is essentially a portal. So marches from one side of Sun Sailor can go to the other side. They're going for the home run play. GY16. The Sun Sailor still needs to be, it still needs to build here. You can see there's a timer here. So 489 should be able to respond. But the Ark is going to be spawning in 40 seconds here. It looks like GY16 are sacrificing Ark so that they can go and try to win the game by taking the obelisk of 489. How does 489 respond? Well, 489, they also too can go through this portal. It's not only for your team. That's the downside of Sun Sailor compared to Master Strategies, that Sun Sailor can be used by either team here. We have 18 seconds, 17 seconds until this Ark spawns. Sun Sailor used in Grand Prix play. You can see all the marches are now starting to teleport over. And now they're going to start pouring in to this bottom side obelisk. Will they be able to take this bottom side obelisk? Will they be able to hold for long enough that GY16 members will be able to teleport in here? That's going to be the real question. There are marches scrambling from 489 in the middle here. Ark has spawned. 489 has gotten the Ark. But will they be able to respond in time? Our attention will be fully on this obelisk. GY16 swarming down this Heraclius YSS garrison. And wow, it is getting melted. But there are 49 marches around here. There are 49 cities around here. Will they be able to fill in time? We have to remember, this is Grand Prix. Everyone has developer accounts. They have a ton of troops. They have all the garrisons in the world. But GY16 still able to take it. Now there's a 2-minute timer. Will the marches of GY16, will they be able to hold this for 2 minutes? The marches are now pouring in from 489. These are the marches that came from middle. They used Desert Storm to chip away at the GY16 marches. They're able to do that because GY16 did not fight in the middle, so they had extra skill points to spare. This is super interesting from both these teams here. This is a good response by 489 though. They brought the marches here. GY16 though, they were able to take all of the structures in the bottom side of the map. They took the Desert Altar, they took the Shrine of Life. So even if this play doesn't necessarily plan out and they're not able to capture this, at least they're able to chip away at some of the points that 489 would have gained. But you can see there's a YSS and Charles in here, which is an anti-swarm garrison, I believe. We've seen that in Supreme Strife. 45 seconds until this captures. Will GY16 be able to hold for that 45? Oh my goodness, it's getting super, super close. The swarm has not come on this GY16 obelisk yet. Ark is in this bottom side. Ark is safe. But GY16, 20 seconds until they capture. 489 have to be scrambling. They have to just swarm this down. But this YSS and Charles is holding on so well. 10 seconds. It's getting low. 5 seconds. 4, 3. GY16 has successfully captured the obelisk. Now they can start teleporting in cities. Oh my goodness. This could spell disaster by 489. What does this do? 489 are not going to be able to provision. They are going to have a city in the back consistently just attacking structures from behind. They're going to be consistently attacking the obelisk. And now the Ark could actually be captured by GY16. There's a city that they could capture it in. There's a city that they could capture it in. This is not a safe Ark by 489 at all. In the pandemonium, in the mayhem, 489 have lost the Ark, have lost their obelisk, have now captured it back. But there are 2 cities from GY16. Now, there's only 2 cities here, so that's only 10 marches. They're trying to swarm down this city to get back home faster. This was from the top side of the map. But here you can see that there's 5 marches from GY16. They're going to just attack perhaps the outposts, so the outposts will never be safe. They could also attack the arcs. And now 489, they'll have this constant thorn on their side that they have to consistently respond to. You can see the other player from GY16 is just attacking the obelisk, and now that's going to be -1 player. Essentially, this player is just going to play distraction on 489 as much as possible. Another thing is they got extra teleports for capturing the obelisk for the first time. So you can see there's a lot of teleports here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A lot of cities compared to 489 on this bottom side. 489 though, it does look like they will be able to capture this Ark. The thing about the Ark flipping hands is that the timer should have reset. With the timer resetting, 489 will be able to hold the Ark for longer. Now, is that going to be the play for 489? You can see their structure game right now is falling into pieces because of how much they had to commit to this bottom side of the map. Desert Ultra has been generating points for GY16 for quite some time. Same as the Shrine of Life. And you can see all these marches are just being as annoying as possible. Going towards this Ark over and over and over again. Actually inching it further and further away. Sunsailor is also still here. But all of the teleports were used. Okay, so Sunsailor is out of the play, out of the picture. What a crazy first Ark. Let's recap what happened. So 489, GY16, it looked like they were going to go for an all-in Ark play. An all-in murder ball fight for that first Ark. GY16, they reverse the script. They kind of say, psych, we're going to use Sunsailor and teleport over to your obelisk. They teleport over to 489's obelisk. They're able to capture it. They're able to get first capture, which gives them more teleports. And crucially, they're able to get 2 cities teleported in 489's territory. What does that do? Well, now these cities will be able to consistently attack arcs that come to this bottom side. They'll be able to deny gatherers for 489. They'll also be able to take the outposts rather easily for 489. And try to delay and attack marches that are on the way to middle or onto the way to structures. So overall, it's a good pressure play by GY16. Now, they did sacrifice the Ark, which is 3k points, but they made that back. Oh, the Ark was captured, by the way. So this is a true score. GY16, even with that player, still up by 400 points. Because during all of that mayhem, GY16 was able to take the Desert Altar as well as the Shrine of Life. In fact, they weren't able to take it. They're able to keep it. Look at this. GY16, it is still painted blue. And this Desert Altar is generating that lead for GY16. 690 points per minute versus 300 points per minute, rather. So GY16, they have found success early here. How does 489 respond? 489, they're at a tempo disadvantage, specifically because they, in this bottom side, specifically because the obelisk was taken from them for about 4 minutes there. So that's teleports that couldn't come down to this bottom side. And also, GY16, you can see they already teleported everyone out. There's only one more city left in spawn. 489, they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities. That's because the GY16 were given 8 teleports when they captured the obelisk of 489. So that's going to play a pretty big part here. Because that's going to be an extra minute of walk time taken away by 8 times 5. I don't know why I'm doing math on stream. 40 marches of GY16. 489 are now trying to take this Desert Altar. But you could see that, like, this is a pretty even amount of marches here. There is a rally on it. It is the Attila Subutai rally. But there are marches here. They could come in. They could try to reinforce. But actually, 489 should be able to capture this. Just due to the fact that GY16, they don't have reinforcements coming through. How does 489 respond? How does 489 come back into this game? Well, they will have to capture the next arc for sure. They opted in to capture that arc because they knew they needed the points. What does that mean though? They need to capture the next arc, or they need to really play this building game really, really well. But that's going to be hard when the opponents have a teleport advantage. So I don't think the building game is the way to go for 489, just due to the fact that they're down teleports. They have to win a decisive mid-fight, I think. We'll have to see what they do in 5 minutes 30 seconds. That is when that second arc will spawn. This top side of the map has been pretty standard. This bottom side of the map has been absolute chaos. It's the duality of Osiris League, of Grand Prix. GY16, what do? They kind of have freedom to do what they want. If 489 go full mid, they could pop no mark. I'm assuming they have no mark. They could pop no mark, go structures, and generate the points back that way. They're definitely in the position where they're able to because of the teleport advantage. Or they could also go mid and try to contest a 489 murder ball, believing that their murder ball is stronger than theirs. They still have 4 points worth of skills on... Oh, here we go. It is stocking up. Because we haven't seen Energetic, I assumed it would be stocking up. So GY16 are stocking up the energy points here. That means they do have provisioners. And one thing I will say about 489 is that they do not provision. They do not provision. We've seen GY16 get 3k, 4k, 5k points from provisioning alone. So that's going to be a big, big detriment to 489. 489 responding with Energetic. So both sides here trying to get as much energy points for this mid-fight as possible. GY16, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gatherers out. The gatherers are now starting to come back. You can see the provision points now starting to come in for GY16. So on top of being down in terms of buildings, they are also going to be down in terms of provisioning. So what does that mean? They need to dominate the arcs. They need to dominate these arcs. Because if you're going to be down in terms of occupation and provisions, you have to be up on that third way to get points, which is arcs. GY16, they're up by a comfortable 2.2k. The arc will be worth 3.5. So if 489 capture this arc, they will be back in the swing of things here. They will actually be in the lead. But here, this is exactly what I was talking about. These GY16 marches, they're just going to attack the 489 marches on the way there. And now the 489 marches are super frustrated because they either have to fight or they have to refresh. Fight or refresh. It's going to be super annoying for these marches rotating middle. Arvik's taking it upon himself, saying, alright, I will be the one taking the 1v1s against these marches. You guys just go middle. But you can see the marches here. The marches here are I mean, they're not low, but some of them are getting thwarted here. Some of them have to backtrack and reset, which is super, super annoying. Desert Ulcer also getting rallied down. Oh my goodness, wait, is this going to go down? Eva trying to come clutch. Eva does have 3 marches here that she can fill with. Goku also here. Could fill with their march. Skyle to take. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the buildings are by themselves in the straight rally versus garrison. GY16 have been winning. In these side lanes, the buildings, it has been GY16 favored, which is how they've been chipping away at the points. And that is super, super bad if 489 want to continue to make this comeback here. Desert Storm used by GY16. It looks like it was used in the center here. An early chip to the 489 Murder Ball. GY16, what's going to happen with this? It looks like 489 were able to hold the Desert Altar. They are able to take back the Sky Altar. But you can see it was a 2.2k lead. Now it's a 2.8 because they're able to capture that Sky Altar, and it's still going to grow because of the points per minute disparity here. 489 also using Desert Storm. So both sides trying to chip away at the marches here. There's only 40 seconds. GY16 have the positioning advantage. They have placed their Murder Ball in between themselves, in between 489 and the Ark of Osiris here. 489 looks like they're going to go in for this fight to the death, used by GY16 to the death in response by 489. So both sides mirroring skills here. Actually, it looks like 489 were able to use an extra dust up. 489 were able to use an extra dust up. The Ark is going to be spawning here in about 15 seconds. 10 seconds. GY16 have the positioning advantage, but the Murder Ball, I feel like, is going 489's favor. Wait a minute. I think the Murder Ball is looking rather... Oh, it's kind of close, actually. But I see more blue sad faces than the red sad faces. Perhaps it's the international server cope. Here we go. We have Leo actually able to get the first capture. That is 489. 489 able to get the first tap. The sad faces are pouring out from GY16. Wow. Okay, 489. A sign of life here in this second mid fight. Able to beat GY16 in middle. Now, what happened here? They were able to use 2 extra points worth of skills. They were able to use Dust Up. GY16, they did not have Dust Up. It also looked like to me that GY16, they had a couple less marches by 489. Perhaps that's the difference of these 10 marches being tied up here. They can't actually go middle. But wow, what an impressive win to start their comeback by 489. That is absolutely huge from them. Now it looks like 489 are going towards the outpost. So 489, they just want to capture this as fast as possible. That's what this is indicating. They want to capture this as fast as possible and run back the mid fights. They like what they saw in that second mid fight. So they're going to run it back. If they win another mid fight, they're going to be in the lead. But the thing is, they did use more points in that second mid fight. So on paper, GY16, they should have a points advantage going into that third mid fight if it happens right away. You can see the marches from GY16 that teleported over are trying to delay that arc. GY16, they have had success on these buildings, trying to replicate it. You can see that it is a Heraclius YSS, which has been the garrison of choice for 489 for most of these buildings. GY16 trying to push. They do have a numbers advantage here. By the way, the Ark is getting attacked. This is what we were talking about. Let's keep our eyes on the Ark. Will 489 be able to capture this in time? There's only 3 marches from GY16, although the marches by 489 are getting pretty low. It looks like 489 should be able to get this, especially with the extra marches coming in from BK Love. But for the GY16 were able to delay that Ark capture. They're able to delay the Ark capture. so that they could continue to press their building game advantage. 49 has the advantage middle from what we've seen so far. The building game has been GY16's. Desert Altar has fallen. Sky Altar has fallen. 4 altars to none is never, ever a good sign. You can see points per minute, 590 to 230. This has been quite the peculiar game because neither team has actually used no mark. Neither team. It has been these mid fights over and over and over again, so perhaps not having enough points to pop that no mark skill because they've been focusing on the mid fights. That first arc, it was Sunsailor eating up the 6 points from GY16 as well as Dust Up, so that was 8 points to use, so no way to use no mark here. And then the last mid fight, it was Dust Up. No, it was To the Death plus the Desert Storm. So 9 points used there. But this would be a perfect spot for no mark. You have 4 altars. You could just start generating the points like crazy. But they just don't have the points for it right now. They just do not have the points for it. This is really, really interesting because this is the exact opposite of what happened against GY16 and 60GT. GY16 were behind in the buildings. They were ahead in the mid fights. Except for that last mid fight where 60GT were able to win. GY16 this time going full buildings, and it's been super successful for them. They're now up by 400 points. You can see that they have about 6k score in occupation points above 49 alone, which has been the bulk of their points here. GY16 able to swarm down the was that a swarm down rally of 489, I believe, and now generating points on this Desert Altar. This YSS with Charles is so punishing to swarm down. You can see the marches are starting to get really, really low. And this thing is not going down, although there are no reinforcements from GY16, so it should go down pretty soon here. In the meantime, 49 were also able to capture their Sky Altar rather. Desert Altar looks like it should be recaptured as well. But in all of that, GY16 were able to gain a 1k point advantage just from the occupation score. And I feel like this has been the story of the game. GY16 has been able to chip away. 49 has been able to get the big objective, which has been the arcs. But GY16, with their provisioning, with their success in attacking and capturing the Sky Altar and Desert Altar, are pretty comfortable with where they're at. 49, they consistently have to roll the dice. They consistently have to gamble on these mid fights and execute on these mid fights. 5 minutes to go until this next mid fight. What will GY16 and 489 decide to do? It is going to be worth 4k, so it's going to be worth quite a couple points here. GY16, with how successful they've been on buildings though, and the mid fight not going their way last time, perhaps that's the timing that they want to use for no mark. Perhaps that's the timing that they use for no mark. Go get the 4 altars. They're up by 1k already. Make up the point differential from no mark by capturing all of the altars, which should give you about 2.5 to 3k if you're able to hold it for long enough, which they have shown that they're able to, especially if 489 decide to all in middle. They also have the extra points from provisioning that 489 do not have. Literally 0 provisioners from 489. 114 provisioning points overall. GY16 looks like their Sky Altar attack will be unsuccessful. Desert Altar attack also a bit unsuccessful. Oh, there is a rally coming in. 489, they are rotating out. They have hit these marches to pretty much super low. I actually like this from 489. Look at this. They put the marches to pretty much sad face so that the rally won't be a threat. But because they heavily index in the defense of the Sky Altar, as well as the defense of the Desert Altar, GY16 yet again have the positioning advantage in this Ark fight. So what's different for GY16 this Ark fight compared to last Ark fight? On paper, GY16 should have more points for skills. It's kind of marginal. It's not too much of an advantage, but perhaps the time warp of 489, and actually GY16 might not even have no mark because they might have time warp for that last skill. But perhaps the time warp of 489 will be the only skill that they could use for To the Death, or if they want to use Dust Up plus Desert Storm for 5 points. This is an arc that was pretty much instantly captured, so we're not going to be seeing a full skill bar from either side because both sides heavily invested in that second arc as well. Chat, who do you think is going to win this third arc fight? Put it in the chat if you think it's GY16 or 489. Who are you cheering for? The two past Grand Prix champions facing it off in a win or go home scenario. And it comes down to this third arc. We have GY16 in the chat, 489 in the chat. We'll have to see, man. This is going to be a tough one. It's going to be an all-in from both sides. And this is exactly what I was talking about with the marches from GY16. Able to disrupt the marches from my 489. Just able to be super disruptive here. So that's going to be minus maybe 4, 5, 6 marches from 489 in this middle fight. Looks like 489, they're going for the side strategy here. Stocking up used by GY16. Desert Storm used by GY16 as well. We see 489 with the Dust Up. And here you go. It's Time Warp from GY16. So they're going to be using To the Death yet again. Wow, they used 9 points. GY16 were able to scrounge up 9 points for this. It's only been 4 points. No, it's been 0 points. No, it's been 4 points for 489. To the Death used by GY16. Heaven's Grace. Okay, so it's 6 points to 9 points. GY16 in terms of skills should be advantaged. Dust Up, Heaven's Grace, which is 6 points, compared to Time Warp, To the Death, and Desert Storm. So on paper, this should be GY16's arc to win. The arc will be spawning in 5 seconds. It's pretty contested. I do see more sad faces coming out from 489 though. The arc is spawned. Who will get first pull? Oh my goodness. It is looking blue, chat. Although 489 were able to get the first pull, but it was instantly sad faced. But this murder ball is blue. Wow. GY16 saying, hey, that second arc mid-fight rather, that was a fluke. We were in a points disadvantage. This time, with you guys at the points disadvantage, we are going to take the victory here in dominant fashion. Wow, that was a dominant arc fight by GY16. Showing that they still have the prowess to go buildings and also go mid. GY16 now have control of the arc. They can make this the last arc if they want to. And with them being in the lead, with them also having that arc, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't hold this arc. 489, they should know that this arc is their do or die. If this arc gets captured by GY16, this match is over. It's done. It's finished. And 489 will be knocked out in this Grand Prix, while GY16 get to continue to go through this lower bracket gauntlet. '49, they are pouring in everybody towards this desert altar and perhaps towards this Ark. It's a valiant effort by 489. I like the skill usage, but they just didn't have enough points. They just did not have enough points. If they were able to use Desert Storm as well, perhaps there could have been a chance. But my goodness, GY16, that was a dominant mid-fight. I don't even know if Desert Storm would have been the difference. GY16 are leveraging their mid-fight win to a Desert Altar take here. But this is where the action's at. Desert Altar also being attacked by 489. They have a rally on it. Looks like they're trying to swarm it down. Where is the Ark Carrier? The Ark Carrier is going to go the long way around, using this Murder Ball here as a defense mechanism to shield themselves. Let's see. Do they see the Ark? They do not. They don't see the Ark because they don't have all of their outposts. They don't know where the Ark is. Wow. That is the play. That is one of the benefits of having a city on this side of the map. You consistently take the outposts. For those that don't know, if you have 3 of your home outposts, you always have true vision of the Ark. But because they don't have all of their outposts, they didn't have true vision. They see it now because the outpost was just retaken. Okay. So they see where the Ark is. Will they be able to respond? It looks like they're not even going for it. They're just going to go for the Desert Altar. Wow. Okay. I wonder what their plan is, though, because they're not provisioning. This is going to be 4K points. GY16 is already up by 4K. So I don't know what the plan for 489 is to get back 8K points. But perhaps once they lost that mid-fight, they knew that this game was over. GY16, 30 seconds away from victory here, with 15 minutes to go in this match. And this is a GY16 everyone expected to play. This is how GY16 was expected to play against 60 GT. This has been a really good play. This has been really dominant from GY16. There has been glimpses of hope, glimpses of life from 489, specifically that second Ark. But the building game has been consistently in GY16's favor. The provision game has been absolutely one-sided by GY16. And the mid game, in the most important Ark, in that third Ark, they were able to take the victory. '49. It was a valiant effort. How do you come back from this? How do you come back from 7K down, 8K down? Well, taking the altars are actually, the first step. That's for sure. GY16, they have a pretty big murder ball, though, around the altar. It looks like they are going to be rotating over to the sky altar. Sky altar on this bottom side of the map is actually 489's. Is 489 provisioning? Oh, they have started to provision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GY16, how many provisioners do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is this even GY16? It is. They have 9 provisioners. So we can expect GY16 to have more of a point search from provisioning, even with this 2.7K that they have currently. Points per minute, 290 to 860. In all honesty, if they're able to hold these structures for a bit longer, there would have been a chance that they could have came back into this game. GY16 knowing that, just instantly taking back the structures. Also taking the Desert Altar as a consolation prize. I feel like this Desert Altar has been a big win for GY16 for a majority of this game. GY16 has been time and time again able to capture the Desert Altar of 489, which has been how they've been able to chip away at the points of 489. The Sky Altar, the first occupation points of the Sky Altar was also a big victory for GY16. On top of that, they have been able to flip the Sky Altar a bit as well. So it's just been the altar attacks versus the altar defense. GY16 has been more successful attacking than 489 has been defending. And perhaps you could, you know, chalk that up to the early tempo GY16 was able to get with the extra 8 teleports that they got from capturing the obelisk of 489 with Sunsailor. The Ark is still in GY16's hands. They're going to hold it for as long as possible. GY16 also using stocking up to get more points. This is very GY16 favored right now. The tempo is going GY16's way. The Ark has gone GY16's way. The provisions have gone GY16's way. And though the Ark score has gone towards 489, the most important Ark, the most valuable Ark has been in GY16's hands. GY16 defending the Desert Altar here. 489 trying to swarm it down. The YSS with Charles just absolutely punishing the swarmers here. But they do not have reinforcements around here. Perhaps the marches from behind could reinforce. Desert Storm used by GY16. It was used on their home Desert Altar to try to defend the home Desert Altar. That is definitely going to help them hold this. Oh my goodness. Look at the sad faces now coming up from 489. That indicates to me GY16 for sure are going to be holding this. Make sure that this is the last arc of the game. And this has been kind of a methodical win from GY16. With the explosive play of Sunsailor early, resulting in a tempo advantage for the rest of the game. GY16 showing that they have multiple layers to their gameplay. They have multiple layers that they can play Ark of Osiris with. Something that they did not show against 60GT last week. GY16 last week seemed pretty one-dimensional, just going full Ark every single time. Meanwhile, 60GT, they just used no mark over and over again. This time, GY16 are the ones going buildings. GY16 are the ones taking the obelisks and playing this really fun style. As we continue on with this Ark match here, we have about 8 minutes to go. GY16 able to take the Shrine of Life, able to hold their Desert Altar. And they should be proud of this victory because 489 is a tough team. 489 is, you know, they've always been a solid and one of the best, one of the top 3-4 Ark teams in the international server. Now knocked out in this Grand Prix. Ark has been captured by GY16. So that will be wraps for Ark. So there is not going to be a fourth Ark. And now they are up by about 7k points. You can see there's marches here from the cities in the back. Just trying to find stragglers, trying to find the gatherers and interrupt them. GY16, they have the provisioners. They have the lead. All they need to do is just hold their structures and they win the game. 49 attacking the Desert Altar yet again. 49 has found limited success on this Desert Altar. They have been able to flip the altars here and there. But for the most part, GY16 has been able to flip their structures more than 49 has been able to flip GY16 structures. And GY16, one of the favorites coming out of the Chinese server, showing that the Chinese server, they still have a lot in the tank. It may not be as dominant as last year, but they are still very, very, very strong teams. We got 6 minutes, 40 seconds. The rally is coming through. It is Attila with Subutai. $4-9 just trying to play for their dignity, trying to make the score as close as possible as Esmeralda pops up. And it was a good attempt by 4-9. GY16 has just been able to chip away at the structures though. The structure game has been in GY16's favor, and I think that was the biggest proponent to the victory of GY16 compared to 4-9. Of course, there was the Sun Sailor here, which threw off the bottom side of 4-9 to absolute chaos. But what an interesting play by GY16. Now all teams, they kind of have to be aware that GY16, they have this in their playbook. They can go Sun Sailor into your obelisk if we go for an all-in mid fights. Sow some chaos in whichever side of the map they decide to go to. This time is the bottom side, but next time it could be the top side. We have 5 minutes to go in this match. Now, who will GY16 verse? That's going to be the real question. I believe the lower bracket is based off of a draw. So we're going to have to see the other teams in this lower bracket and which teams are able to win and which teams in the upper bracket won and which teams have lost as well, because those teams are also going to be going down to the lower bracket. From what I'm seeing in chat, it looks like 60GT lost. We'll be checking the scores after this match as well. One final Desert Altar push. 4-9, 7s to you. It was a great attempt against GY16. But GY16 brought their A game this week. They must have practiced a lot after the loss against 60GT. The initial murder ball coming through for GY16, defending their Desert Altar here. 4-9 rally coming through. It is an Attila Subutai yet again. The garrison here, it looks like it is a Heraclius with YSS. Oh my goodness, this is getting swarmed down. The rally swarmed down by GY16, and that's going to be a successful hold for GY16, and that's kind of been the game. GY16 able to hold when they needed to, and able to take structures when they needed to as well. You can tell by the occupation score, up by about 6k, and this is pretty much, the occupation score plus provision score is pretty much the difference in terms of scores. The difference in occupation score and the difference in provision score, rather. So 4-9 yet again, they have an early exit in the Grand Prix. GY16, they have yet another shot to go through this lower bracket run. Lower bracket, you can make your way back to the finals. Sun Sailor used by GY16. Let's see where they decide to use it. It looks like they used it by 489 to 489. Very interesting, allowing 489 to teleport from one side of the map to the other. Because yes, this teleport, this solar bark can be used by either side. It could be used by 489 and it can be used by GY16. So GY16 just having some fun, saying GG's by putting the solar bark right next to the GY16 obelisks. I'm gonna be curious if anyone from GY16 or from anyone from 489 decide to use it. Does it alter falling for 489 yet again? Let's see. Solar bark is about to build. Is any side gonna use it? Let's see. It looks like they're ignoring it. They're locked in. They're locked in. I respect that. If I was this player, I'd just send all my marches in here for fun. Like, oh, I wonder what's going on the other side of the map. Perhaps it's for the players, their own players in the base of 489 so that they could teleport to the other side. But yeah, GY16 is going to be a menace in this lower bracket, I think. You have to keep in mind, who is in the lower bracket right now? It's 93T, which was the best performing team in the international server last year, and GY16, the reigning champions of last year's Grand Prix. So upper bracket, lower bracket, there are menaces everywhere. As we get deeper and deeper in this tournament, as more and more teams get eliminated, only the best of the best are staying. Will anyone use this? J Towers? No, they're locked in. They're locked in. We got 30 seconds left until this match ends. GY16 with the Masterclass, able to take the victory from 489. 489 with a valiant effort, but that opening where GY16 was able to get that first occupation into the Sun Sailor to capture the obelisk. GY16 from then on had the tempo advantage and were able to win the game from that. So GG's to GY16, GG's to 489, but GY16 have taken the victory and are going on to the next lower bracket phase. You can see the score is at 41.2k for GY16, 32.4k for 489. And as we go back into the booth here, let's go ahead and check out how the rest of the matches went. We had 60 GT versus 62 M1. Wow, what a close match. But 60 GT have taken the loss. 62 M1 are one of the best teams from the Chinese server, so I've been told. So able to take out GY16, but not able to take out 62 M1. They will be in the lower bracket here in round 5. 45Q versus Beer. 45Q with the dominant victory over Beer. Wow. I've been told Beer is one of the best teams in the international server. 45Q from the Chinese server. Able to knock out Beer, and that means the upper bracket here, the semifinals, are going to be 62 M1 versus 45Q, the two top teams of the Chinese server alongside GY16. So that means guaranteed there will be a Chinese server team in the finals. Let's check the rest of the lower bracket. 748W versus VVRS. 748W were able to take out VVRS. 21YL versus 2377. 2377 able to take the victory. And then we saw GY16 versus 489. 93T versus DQ39 is actually going to be the next game that we will be casting. But it'll be on a different stream, which you will be redirected to. But before you go there, be sure to subscribe to this channel, the official Rise of Kingdoms channel. Especially because tomorrow there is going to be a special stream. It's going to be the 7th anniversary Rise of Kingdoms stream, where there's going to be a huge giveaway. There's going to be a huge giveaway. There's going to be wait, 210k gems given away. There's going to be various Rise of Kingdoms merches such as figurines, and there's going to be flux scripts so that you could get gold chests. So be sure to check out the live stream tomorrow here on this channel, Sunday tomorrow at 15 UTC. I'll see you guys then. Peace.